Welcome back to TACUNDRA fans. Mikey Swartz on the WHIPBASH channel. I got a nice update for you today. We got the cab slid back down over this truck. The engine looks so good in here. I'm very happy with this. If you notice, the AC lines and the heater lines were hitting when I originally had this dropped in. Now that I got this slid back so far and dropped way down in here, plenty of clearance on these things, so no problems with that anymore. I am amped about that. That was a big factor in this. Right now it looks pretty natural sitting in there. It actually doesn't look bad at all. So even if I had to mount it right here, I could. This might be kind of an issue. I might have to tweak those over a little bit. Passenger side, same problem. In fact, I caught the engine on this one a little bit when I was pulling it out. So you can see how close that is. Especially if we slide this back the 2 or 3 more inches that I'd like to, it's really gonna be close. Now the cab does have about another ½ inch to an inch to slide down, but it's still not gonna be in the way. Here's the stock cab mounts. So there's about an inch in there. The other side's a little tighter, it's just a little crooked. Right now, the limiting factor is the transmission. Well, I should say the transfer case, really. The transmission's all pretty clear, but all the way back to the transfer case, it's hitting the cab. So that's what's limiting this. It won't quite go down over. I'm gonna notch a little bit to make more room for that transfer case. Not a lot of light in here, hopefully it's okay. I just cut this out. I knew this was gonna have to go because it drops down in. This is where the shifter ran through and the e-brake cables. So I just got rid of that completely. This is the output flange here for the rear, and it's really close to the floor already. And right up about here is where that transfer case is actually hitting. So I'm gonna slice right back to here and cut down and just bend this up a little bit until I have enough room. I think it's also hitting down here though, so I might have to make a relief cut here. I banged that in with a hammer, but it got to the point where it started to crease and I just couldn't hit it in there anymore. So I'm gonna have to cut some kind of, maybe just cut it here and here or something so I can really hit it up in there and then just weld it back together. I'm gonna take care of that right now. I'm not even gonna film this. I'm just gonna show you what I end up with. Got some much better lighting in here now. And you can see how I just sliced this up, and now we can lift that up. Now at this point I can see why the driver's side's sitting a little higher. It's because it's sitting right around here. It's sitting on the transfer case. Let's go underneath and take a look. All right, underneath now, you can see this is where I was banging the floor out, and this is where it started to crease, so I just couldn't get it to go any further. I was just trying to push it too far. So I'm gonna have to relieve that with some cuts somewhere and then just weld it back up. The only thing I really got to worry about is the driver's seat. I don't want to intrude on that, but if I do, I can always raise that seat just a little bit. It's not going to be much, if anything, maybe a ½ inch, something like that. After giving this very little thought, I decided to make a cut in the floor right here. Sliced it right like that. I think that's going to let this come up in where it needs to go, and then I'll be able to bang this up in more also, I hope. If not, I might have to make a few more cuts, but I figured I'd try to keep it to a minimum. So that's the only one I got for now. So I'm going to lift this thing back up and bang on it with a hammer and see if I can get that up out of the way now. So, all right, got my cut right here. I'm pretty confident this is going to go a lot further. I don't know about here though. That's fine. Oh yeah, much better. That back up. Oh, that should do it. Now over here. Yes. See, it just didn't have enough room to stretch there, so that relief cut did it. I just have to weld a piece of metal back in there now. Alright, drop back down, see how it fits. Yo, my man Jay Gross just stopped by, just WMC flying the hair. He's just in time because, watch this, every time I set this down, I was just about to film this anyway. Every time I set the cab down now, I have it centered, it goes, like something's pushing it over and I can't figure out, watch this. Oh yeah, it seems like it's right there. Yeah, and I thought I figured out what it was. So it should be like,
You can hear it. It sounds like it's
well, actually it's too far that way now, but it'll do it. Yeah, it's like down. I thought I found what it was. I took a bracket off the tranny, but apparently that wasn't it. And I don't see, I don't know, I'm gonna have to crawl around in there. So yeah, so I'm just letting it line up straight.
That's so messed up,
That's
man.
fucking dick. Maybe it's right here.
That's what it seems like.
It might be.
That's what
it might be right there because those hoses are up against. Maybe I should slide the cab back just a little
They
further.
are like a tiger, aren't they?
Yeah. Let me try that. Let's see. See how tight they are in there. Push it.
Yeah. Now if anything.
It still does it.
It seems like that's where it's coming from. But then, no, whenever you do push that way, it sounds like it's on this side.
I don't know. That noise there, I think it's the
left.
cap sliding on the left.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Slide forward a little more and see if it. Okay, it didn't do it that time. I think it is that hose.
These stupid hose always be messing things
It's
up.
just
man.
touching it now. It's not quite pushing up against it.
You can touch them hose, but you can't get all up on them. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fine. I could just slide that cab back just a
You ain't even getting what I'm saying.
quarter inch. What are you saying?
I said you can touch them hose, but you can't get all up on them.
It just jumped over anyway.
See? That's more than the hose.
I don't know. We're going out for wings. Later, guys. Hey, guys. I cut my beard off like an idiot. Just get it out of your systems now. Just go ahead and comment. Make fun of me all you want. Don't worry. I'm going to let it grow back. I don't know what I was thinking. Bitch me out in the comments. Anyway, I just want to let you know I haven't really filmed much lately. In fact, what you just watched was filmed in the beginning of December, and it's now like closing in on the end of January. So I'm just now kind of catching up, and I want to let you guys know what I've been working on. I'm sitting in front of my editing desk right now, and you can see all this paperwork laid out right here and over here. This is all engine harness wiring diagrams and stuff like that. Tacoma stuff over here. Tundra stuff is over there, and I've been comparing everything, figuring this all out. I've actually made a lot of progress, and I have, look at all these notes. This is crazy. This is just one of the Tundra's ECU plugs that I've got mapped out where it has to convert over to Tacoma stuff. Basically, the Tundra only has 2 plugs to its ECU, but the Tacoma has 5 plugs. So I got to convert all this stuff. 3 of the plugs to the Tacoma are built in with a harness. They go directly to the ECU. The other 2 are body plugs. So on the Tundra, you just have 1 plug that goes to all the sensors and stuff on the engine, and the other plug goes to the body. So that part has actually been pretty easy. I mean, it took me some time to come up with this, but I got it all worked out. Now, what makes this swap a lot different than what I'm used to is the automatic transmission and the 4-wheel drive. Because up until this point, I haven't swapped anything 4-wheel drive and automatic. All the Honda stuff that I've done, it's always 5-speed stuff, you know? So this is a little more in-depth. There's actually a separate computer for the 4-wheel drive system. I did a little research on that, and it looks like those computers are so similar that I could probably keep the Tacoma 4-wheel drive computer, but I think I am going to go ahead and use the Tundra's computer, and maybe I can show you why. I have some of the wiring right here in the house with me. God, what a mess. This is a junction box that goes on the passenger side right at the firewall, like in the engine bay. In fact, here is this 4-wheel drive computer. And like I said, I've decided to keep this. So a lot of this is going to end up in the Tacoma. This is the real nightmare of this swap, and I knew it was going to be, but I am getting it figured out, although there are still a lot of wires that I don't really know where they go, and I don't know what their purpose is. I've been putting in so much time on this wiring stuff, have not been filming anything, so I want to at least give you an update. I haven't really got into the physical aspect of it. Like, I've just been making plans for the wiring, but I want to get a solid plan for every single wire before I just get in there and start cutting stuff apart. Hopefully, I'll have a good update for you soon and actually get out there to the truck and start making things happen. I'm planning to at least just temporarily put the factory fuel tank back in it and get it running. So fingers crossed, hoping to see this thing run soon. I want to thank all you guys for staying tuned and showing me a lot of love. Keep them comments coming. Keep hitting that like button and share the videos whenever you can. Tell your friends about it and make sure everyone's subscribed to WHIPBASH. Deuces. And don't forget to make fun of my lack of beard.